Hi guys, my name's Teresa. Welcome back to my channel, and today is March's round of Jurassic TBR. I said that really weird. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are not new, if you are new, welcome. Hey, I'm really glad to have you. Okay guys, I'm really excited for this month's round because I've made a few changes to the board. So the first one, I don't know if y'all can see that there, if it'll focus, but I added nonfiction to that footprint because the white footprints are my own TBR. And I recently went through and cataloged all of my own nonfiction books that I have. Yeah, so if I land on this specific footprint at any point during the game, I have to specifically choose from my nonfiction TBR. The rest of the white footprints, of course, are just my regular owned TBR. So I did do a couple extra things, which you guys will see in gameplay. I have these little feet here, these little babies, which as you guys can see are, oops, dropped it, significantly smaller than the footprints on the board. See here, the plan was to add a few more of the red and green footprints to the board because I had gotten a comment, and basically I was talking about how like I have so many of my prompt cards down here that'll take me forever and a day to go through them, and someone was like, well, you like to level up or something so you can get through them a lot faster. And what I thought of doing instead of that was, why don't I just add more footprints to the board? Instead of adding more footprints, I'm just changing some of the colors. For those of you who are new to my game, I'm just going to go over it really quickly. Black footprint means thriller. Red footprint means a Jurassic TBR card. Green footprint means a Mr. DNA card. White footprint means owned TBR. Yellow footprint means fantasy. So that's kind of the gist of the game. Super easy. When I started, I did it like kind of equal of everything because I'm very much a mood reader, and I was afraid if I did too many prompts that I would just like get into a reading slump. But I found that I'm actually really liking the prompts, and the prompts really help me pick my books because I'm still picking what I want to read. It's not like a specific book that I'm reading. So I was like, oh, I will just add, instead of having, 7 red and green footprints, I'll have 10 red and green footprints and just minus some of the other ones, if that makes sense. So I was like, oh, I'll print them out and just glue them over so I don't have to redo this whole entire board again. And I printed them out, and I'm cutting them out, and I'm like, these seem awful small to me. Like, I'm pretty sure my footprints are much bigger. And they go to stick it on the board, and I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah, that's really tiny compared. I don't know what. I swear, I thought I had sized it correctly, but obviously not. So while I'm playing, I'm literally just gonna lay the little footprints on here, and the little footprint is gonna be the actual one I'm going for, not the one underneath. Hope that makes sense, you guys. But yeah, those are really the only changes. So that means that we have the possibility of drawing more cards. I will add equal amounts of red and green, so there's equal amounts of drawing red and green, or Mr. TBR and Jurassic TBR cards, and then of course my one nonfiction footprint. So if I land on this, like I said, nonfiction. So that's it. Everything else is the same as far as the rules goes. If you guys are new here or you want a refresher, I will go ahead and link up above my playlist. You guys can go check it out. I'll have the intro video, all of that kind of stuff, talking all about my game. So definitely go do that. Also, before I get any further into this video, I wanted to give a huge shout out to all of my new subscribers. You guys, all of a sudden, I have like skyrocketed. I have gained so many new subscribers in 2023 alone that it just makes my heart so happy. Like every time I get the email notification that someone subscribed to me, or like I go onto my YouTube and I see my new subscriber count, like it's just bigger than it was before. It makes me so happy. Like I can't even express to you guys how much it means to me that you guys are watching my videos, that you're subscribing to me. Seriously, to all of you who are new here, I just want to say hi. Thank you so much. I see you. I'm so thankful to have you here on my channel to be subscribed, please put in the comments down below. Introduce yourself, say hi. You know, I really want to get to know you guys. And for those of you who have been here since day one, like, you all rock too. I'm so thankful to each and every single one of you who has subscribed to my channel, especially those who have stuck it out with me throughout the tough times that I've had at the beginning, you know, the past couple of years of this channel. No saying that this year is gonna be any better, but that is the hope. I'm really working hard on making this channel something that I am proud of. And yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I say that before I go any further into this video. Is just welcome to everybody who is new. Thank you so much. And if you are watching and you haven't subscribed yet, and if you would, you know, consider it, it would really mean a lot to me. I would really appreciate it if you did. So with that all said, I think we need to talk about some books. I want to go over my last month, my February TBR with you guys, and show you how I did. And you guys, I'm really excited because I actually like pretty much completed my TBR for February, which is like a rarity for me to complete a TBR. So I'm really happy, but let's go. I'll show you the books. Hang on. First up, I had a Jurassic TBR card, which you can see the dog slobbered on. And we have Malcolm, which was to read a book with a warm setting. And I chose The Hacienda by Isabel Cañas, and I did read this. Next, I had another Jurassic TBR card, which was to read a book about a villain because of Vic Hoskins, and I read Cold Hearted by Serena Valentino, and I did read this. After that, I had Thriller, and no, I had Own TBR, and it chose for me Behind the Red Door by Megan Collins, which just happens to be a thriller. And I did read this. Next, my game was super nice to me. It gave me mood read. I don't think it's focusing, but it says mood read. And I read a story from here. I did not read this book. I read a story from here. I read this amount from here, which was 33 pages, I think. And this is the Chapel Perilous by Kevin Herney. That was book like 4.8, I think, in the Iron Druid series. So yep, did read that. Next up, I had a Own TBR again, and it chose for me. You know, I freaking have on Google, tell me how to pronounce this book name, and I cannot freaking remember. Arula. There's a way to pronounce it, and I don't remember what it is. But this book, this person's colors. This is by Jeffrey Overstreet. As you guys can see, I'm actually still reading this. I do have a few days left in the month before, well, yeah, before the month is over. But even if I don't finish this, I'm counting it because I started it, and I know I'll be at least halfway through, if not finished, by the end of the month. Like, I'm pretty close to halfway through as is, so I'm counting it. I landed on Thriller for my next prompt, and I decided to read The It Girl by Ruth Ware. I did read that. After that, I had another owned TBR, and I switched out the book that it chose for me for this one, which is within my rules. And this is Souls of Lost Lake by Jamie Jo Wright. I read this, first 5-star of the year. Then I landed on fantasy, and I read Trapped. Tricked was the one before this. Trapped by Kevin Herney. This is book 5 in the Iron Druid Chronicles. Did read this. And the last one I landed on was another Own TBR, and it chose for me The Change by Kristen Miller. And unfortunately, I did not read this, y'all, but I'm counting it because this was a major DNF. I count it DNFs, I'm counting because I at least tried it, and I'm not gonna punish myself for not reading a book because I at least tried. So that means I have read all of my little cards here, and so these, none of them have to go back in the pile. They're now all going to my discard pile. So we're dwindling down on our cards, which makes me really happy. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and get to this month's game. Go ahead and switch on over to the game board and see what I get this month for my Jurassic TBR game. I'm really excited this month, you guys. I'm like, it's gonna be such a good one. I can already tell. Okay, so I have my 2 dice, my D8 and my D10. Whichever one is the higher number when I roll it is the dice I'm gonna be using this month. So let's go. And they're tied. I have an 8. I have an 8. I don't have a rule for that. So let's just say if I get that, then I get to pick which dice I want to use. And since I would like a fairly shorter month, let's go to D10, which means I may have a shorter month because I can move up to 10 spaces. So do that. Okay, So as always, I have Ellie Sattler here to help us escape Jurassic TBR. Okay guys, rule number one. Rule number one is a 1. Black, which is thriller. Landed on a black footprint, which means thriller. And for that I'm choosing Northern Spy by Flynn Berry. So this follows a woman named Tessa. She is a BBC reporter, and like she just had a new baby. And then one day when she's at work in Belfast, the news breaks that there is another raid from the IRA, which is the Irish Republican Army. There's like these threats and things are happening. And the police come to Tessa because there's footage of her sister actually taking part in the robbery. I guess there was a robbery or something happens. They believe that she is a part of it, but Tessa can't like wrap her head around that because they've always opposed violence, and she's like, there's no way, she must be coerced or like kidnapped or something. And then when the truth comes out about, you know, what her sister has been doing, she kind of has to rethink everything she's ever known and fight for like her sister, but also because she's a new mom, she has to care about her son and think about what's best for her child. Espionage and conflicting loyalties and very much hard-hitting family drama kind of thriller. So that it sounds so good, and I'm really, really excited to pick this one up. Rule number 2. Number 2 is 3. 1, 2, 3. And because I have the little sticker on here, that means that is now a Jurassic TBR. So we've got Rexy, read a book set in North America. I landed on a new footprint that I just put down, and that was a Jurassic TBR card. And this one I drew is Rexy, read a book set in North America. And for that, I'm choosing to read Touching Spiritbearer by Ben Mikaelson. This is kind of a middle grade. It says 10 and up. That's middle grade, right? About a boy, 15-year-old Cole Matthews, has been fighting and stealing for years. The punishment for smashing Peter Driscoll's skull into the sidewalk, his most recent crime, is harsh. Yeah, because that's like a pretty harsh thing that you did, dude. This time, Cole will have to choose between prison and Native American circle justice. He will live either behind bars or in isolation for 1 year. Cole chooses circle justice, but in the first days of his banishment to a remote Alaskan island, he is mauled by a mysterious white bear and nearly dies. Will the attack of the giant spirit bear destroy Cole's life or save his soul? And it does take place, like it said, in Alaska, and Alaska is North America. So I'm going to be reading this. It is also middle grade March, so I'm going to be, you know, trying to get some middle grades in here. And yeah, so Touching Spiritbearer is what I'm reading for this prompt. Roll number 3. We've got a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is a Mr. TR card. We have Next Due at Library. Right off the bat, you guys, we're getting more cards and this makes me so happy. Okay, so this is a green footprint, which is a Mr. TBR card. And this one is Next Due at Library. So I went ahead and looked through my books, and one of the books that I have is due. It's not like the absolute next one due, but that's like due like tomorrow, and there's no way I'm going to be able to read it before it's not even the beginning of the month yet. So I'm choosing this one because it is due in probably the first week and a half of the month. And anyways, that is I'm Glad My Mother Died by Jennette McCurdy, or Glad My Mom Died by Jennette McCurdy. So I'm pretty sure you all have heard about this book. I've heard nothing but amazing, amazing things about this book. And I also have the audiobook on Scribd, so I'm going to be listening to it while reading along because I do believe that she narrates the audiobook. Those of you who are unaware, which I'm sure there are probably very few of you, but just in case you don't know what this book is about, she played Sam on iCarly and also Sam and Cat. So that was more like my younger sister's generation. I was a little bit older at the time. I did occasionally watch it. iCarly, like, I was never really a fan, but I always loved her character. And then I really liked Sam and Cat. I thought that was super cute. I always loved her character, her snark, everything. But this is basically her memoir and the horrors that she went through as a child. Her mother was extremely abusive. So that's kind of the, the title. her mom was extremely abusive, and she dealt, from my understanding, that she dealt with a lot of really nasty things that happened to her as a child actress within Hollywood, and just, you know, really bad stuff. Hollywood is not a place for kids. I am so excited to read this. I think it's gonna be quite hard-hitting, but like I said, I've heard nothing but amazing things. So yeah, I'm excited that I found this. And it's next to my library because I only have like 2 weeks left before it needs to be returned. So I need to read this like first thing. Number 4 is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Once again, we landed on a new square, which is Jurassic TBR. And we have Confinatus. Compy. Read a book under 300 pages. All right, landing on another new footprint. And this is another Jurassic TBR card, and this one is Confinatus. I can never say this correctly. Compsognatus or a compy. This is to read a book under 300 pages. So the book I'm going to be reading for this is actually one that my TBR had chose for me last month, and I decided to switch it out for reasons. And that is The Thing About December by Donald Ryan. And reasons why I decided to switch this one out. I was gonna read it anyways this month. It just happened to work out that the prompt worked with this book, is because this month is the Irish Readathon. So you will see, like the first book I showed you, you'll see kind of a theme. I'm gonna be reading some Irishy books this month. And this is about a man who, he has to go back home after his parents die, and he inherits the family farm, and it just is kind of, I think it's really interesting the way it's told. I mean, it's literally told through an entire year. I mean, it starts in January and ends in December. So it's like 1 year of this guy's life dealing with taking over the farm. It says, village bullies and scheming land grabbers stand in his way no matter where he turns, though championship and the promise of love enter Jonesy's life. Yeah, it's basically just about his experience, or like his life of taking over this place, and people are trying to get the land from him, and just I don't know, I think it's like a slice of life. Those aren't really necessarily my favorite types of book to read, but this one is really short. To show you that it is under 300 pages. I don't know if that's focusing there, but I don't know if you guys can see. Focus on the book and not on me. I don't know if that's showing up there, if it's focusing at all, I can't see, but it is 205 pages. And if you add the acknowledgements, literally the last numbered page is 207. I don't know if that's focusing. Sorry if it's not, I can't tell. But yeah, anyways, 207 pages, so definitely under 300. This one, we'll see. It's an Irish book. I'm really excited to read it. Like I said, because it's Irish Readathon this month, and hopefully I like it. And it's very, very short, so it works for my prompt. Number 5. Woo! All the way off the board. Let's go ahead and go again. We had 2. 1, 2. Owned TBR. All right, you guys, my owned TBR. So I'm going to go to the computer, and I'm going to do random number generator, the whole bit, and we'll find out which book I'm reading next. All right, guys, hopefully you can hear me over the sound of my heater. My heater is broken. It won't turn off. Thankfully, it's freaking cold outside, so it's not that big a deal. But it's loud. So I have my spreadsheet here. So we start at number 2, and we'll scroll all the way down. Well, I'm not going to scroll down, but just trust me, I have 329 books on my TBR, but because we start at 2, we go 330. So I'm going to generate 3 times to get my number. So 1, 2, and 3, 274. So let's go find out what that is. And also my list is in alphabetical order by author last name. Did I say 274? Yeah, 274. Half Sick of Shadows by Laura Sebastian. Okay. As you saw, it chose for me Half Sick of Shadows, and this is by Laura Sebastian. This is Camelot. This is a retelling of Guinevere, I believe. No, it's not. right. This is The Lady of Shalott. Lane of Shalott is cursed to see the future. So I can't remember. I even took a Arthurian Legends class in college. I don't remember who she is. Anyways, this is a King Arthur retelling. This is YA, and this is Book of the Month from June 2021. Yeah, so I'm really excited actually to be able to read this book. I really want to get my Book of the Month books read because they keep collecting every month, obviously, and I keep not reading them. So I'm glad I picked this, and yeah, that's what I am reading for owned TBR. Number 6. Number 6 is an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That is a Jurassic TBR card. And we've got TRex. Oh man, read a book with 500 plus pages. I got another Jurassic TBR card, which is TRex. Read a book with 500 plus pages. So we have Rexy and then TRex. I mean, they're technically the same animal, but like, you know, whatever. So for this one, thankfully I have one that I'm really excited to read. And even though it is over 500 pages, it should be quite easy and quick to read. And that's Subsidio by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. Oh, the third and final book in the Illuminae Files trilogy. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited to finish it off. I love this series. Those of you who are unaware with them, they are like a mixed media type of books. And let me see how many pages it is quickly, so without spoiling myself, so I can tell you, we have, I don't want to read anything. I don't know if you guys can see that, probably not, but whether or not that's showing up or not, I don't know, but it is 615. So there are 615 pages in this book, which is definitely over 500. So like I said, this is book 3. If you guys are not aware what the Illuminae Files is, as mentioned, mixed media. Basically, it follows these kids who their home planet was invaded and they basically go on the run. You have rogue AIs, you have assassins, you have government officials scheming and all sorts of things. It's super fun. It's sci-fi. It's like angsty YA, but I love it. You get just the funnest, coolest stuff in here. I'm reading this by reading it physically while listening to the audiobook. Honestly, I think that's the only way to do it, because I think if you just listen to the audiobook, you miss out on the visuals, but if you just read the book itself, you don't get the audio because the audio is full cast, sound effects, everything. It's great. I love it. I'm having a blast with the just whole experience. What's that called? Immersion reading, I think, when you do both. YA sci-fi, who doesn't love it? Okay, we can officially make it out with our next roll, because we only have 8 spaces to go, so that means I have to roll another 8 to be able to complete this game. Otherwise, I have to go back the number of spaces on the roll, or on the dice. Let's hope for another 8, shall we? And I get a 6. That means I have to go back 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We have another Jurassic TBR card. We've got blue. Read a domestic thriller. Well, the game is not over quite yet. I had to go back 6 spaces, as you saw. And once again, I landed on a new or updated footprint. And for whatever reason, it really, really likes the Jurassic TBR cards. So I mean, like, this is the game of Jurassic TBR, apparently. I mean, that is the name of the game, but like, yeah, anyways, y'all know what I mean. Anyways, I drew blue. Read a domestic thriller. And for this one, I'm going to be reading Lying in Wait by Liz Newitt. As far as I can tell, this is domestic thriller. I mean, I don't know like 100% for sure, because it's not like anything specifically about husband and wife, whatever, but it has to do with family stuff. So I'm just going to count it as domestic thriller, if, you know. We'll just pretend. So all I really know about this is it says, my husband did not mean to kill Annie Doyle, but the lying tramp deserved it. Yeah, totally makes me think domestic thriller. This is an Irish author. I don't know if this actually takes place in Ireland. I do not know. But from my understanding, this is an Irish author. So it works for the Irish Readathon, and I'm really excited to pick this up. It sounds very intriguing, to say the least. Very intriguing. Okay, and since we went back, now all I have to do is just roll till we win. There's no limit on the numbers. And that is a 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh my gosh. Jurassic TBR card for the win this month, apparently. I've got Mosasaurus, read a book about mythology. But it's got slash marks, which means I have to read 2 books for this prompt. You guys, it's never ending. Did I make a mistake by adding more to the board? But like I added the same amount whatever, of green footprints. But for whatever reason, we're just hitting all the red footprints this month. And the red footprints, of course, are the Jurassic TBR cards. This one, this game, thankfully this like did not happen last month, because last month was the shortest month of the year. February or March is a little bit longer, so we're hoping I can get through all these. But this one picked Mosasaurus, read a book about mythology. And as you all can see, down in the little corner here, there are these like slash marks, claw marks, you know, dinosaur marks. That means I have to read 2 books for this prompt. Because my TBR isn't long enough already, I gotta add 2 more books for this prompt. So, all right, let me go ahead and show you what I chose. Again, you'll be seeing a theme of the Irish stuff this month. So for the first book, I chose Brigid, which is by Courtney Weber. This is a history, mystery, and magic of the Celtic goddess. So this is just like it says, it's a nonfiction all about the goddess Brigid. Yeah, Brigid. So she's a mother, daughter, healer, bard, warrior, fire goddess, goddess of the oak, animals, and magic. Apparently she was a very talented, like multifaceted woman. So yeah, she's like the fertility goddess. I don't know, but it's in Celtic mythology and religion. And this is basically her story, all information about her. So I'm excited to read this. I did get this from a Goodreads giveaway. The only thing that I'm seeing here that I'm a little bit like, about is the part where it talks about like her magic. It actually is like kind of like witchcrafty or pagan. Like it actually tells you, yeah, it's like tells you like how to do spells and stuff. I'm like, I'm not about that stuff. So I'm just gonna like not, read that part of this book. I literally did not know any of that was in here until I just picked this up, because it says each chapter ends with the guided meditations and exercises to help readers tap into Brigid's healing powers. You find focus spells, blessing recipes, and rituals of love for harmony, protection, and much more. Yeah, no. I don't mess with any of that kind of stuff. That is not what I'm about. So I'm going to just like skip over those parts. And I'm here for the history. I'm not here for the pagan witchcraft kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm going to be reading the history of Brigid. And the second book for mythology is way more lighthearted, way more fun. And that is this one, which is, what does that say? The King with Horse's Ears and Other Irish Folktales. This is retold by Bat Burns and illustrated by Igor Olenov. Okay, yep, can't pronounce names like ever. But this is just, it's a children's book and it has really beautiful illustrations. And it's literally what it says. It's just Irish folktales. So I'm really excited to read about these. I mean, I don't know if I know any of the original stories. I've never heard of the King with Horse's Ears. Yeah, so this book's for mythology, and that's the second prompt. Thankfully, it's a very short little picture book, so I should be able to get through this pretty dang quick. Roll again. That's a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Crazy. At this point, it would be nice for the dice to just like, roll and be able to finish out the game, but no, it keeps going. The game keeps going. And the next one I landed on, it was a yellow footprint, which was fantasy, which is cool because I always like it when I land on every single color prompt in the game. And I was a little bit worried I wouldn't hit fantasy this month, but I did. I'm choosing Never Never. This is book 8 in the Villain series by Serena Valentino, and this is all about Captain Hook, and I'm so excited. You guys can't really see it with the, because of the library, like the bindings, but under the dust jacket, they have like the evil face. So there's like the normal face, and then there's like evil face. It's hard to, like, I would show you, but it's the tape because it's a library book. But anyways, this one is all about Captain Hook. And for those of you guys who don't know what the Villain series is, it's basically the origin stories of the classic Disney villains, and basically like how they started out. And you know, most oftentimes, pretty much in all cases, they didn't start out evil, they became evil. And this is the story of why Captain Hook became evil. So you know the story of the infamous pirate, the one so haunted by the tick-tock of the clock that he grew to resent the lost boys who never had to grow up. Before that tale, though, there was another, of a baby stripped of his chance to become a lost boy, of a boy who longed to return to Neverland, of a young man who resented his London lifestyle so much that he left it to join the crew of a pirate ship, and of a pirate turned captain determined to find his way back to the land of perpetual childhood, the only place he ever felt like he belonged. But returning to Neverland comes at a price, especially for a man who has had no choice but to grow up. In the newest installment in Serena Valentino's Twisted Villains series, invites readers into the rise and fall of an unlikely pirate who was perhaps just a lost boy all along. Poor Captain Hook. Yeah, I'm really excited to read this and continue with the series. Only 4 more rolls to win the game. Or 4, need a 4 or higher. That went off 4, let's try again. Oh gosh, 2. 1, 2. Well, it's the day for Jurassic TBR. Oh man, Kevin Wheatley, read an intimidating book. Oh, hopefully your last roll of the game. Yes, it is. Ooh, 7. Okay. That. All right, guys. We officially saved Jurassic TR. Yay. Oh, this game. Why? Jurassic TBR card. Of course, it has to land on Ken Wheatley, which is read an intimidating book. Fun. So I don't actually have this one physically with me. It's the only one I don't have a physical copy of. But I'm going to be reading The Secret History by Donna Tartt, right? Oh my gosh. Is that the name? I think it's by Donna Tartt. Anyways, The Secret History. This is a dark academia book. Now, the reason why this book is intimidating to me, because I love dark academia, but it's intimidating because A, it's huge. It's a big book. B, it is like kind of the book that, well, from my understanding, it is like the book that coined the dark academia. It's like the birthplace of all dark academia came from The Secret History. It is a very well-beloved book on BookTube. And so while the size of it and the subject matter doesn't necessarily intimidate me, the fact that it's kind of like held in such high regard, that intimidates me, because I'm like, what if I don't like it? What if I don't like The Secret History, which is like, you know, the Mac Daddy of all dark academia books, which I adore. Yeah, so it's a little intimidating going into it. Plus, it's a really long audiobook, and I have a lot of books I have to read this month, so that's intimidating too. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be choosing. And thankfully, I was able to roll and continue and finish up the game. So no more books. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at my TBR. I'm actually really excited about it. It's a lot of books. It's a lot of books. And there are a couple more books that are not in this TBR that I'm going to be adding to my month TBR, because I'm just going to do that, because why not? You know, like, why not just add more fuel to the fire? Oh my gosh, you guys, I can't. Oh, this is a heavy stack. Holy moly, this is a lot of books. Will I be able to read all of them? Who knows? But I'm going to try my darndest. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, here we go. Ready? Okay, this is my TBR. Plus The Secret History, which is huge. So, I almost dropped it on my face. Yeah, that's a lot of books that I'm going to be reading this month. Like I said, I got The Secret History. So this is my Jurassic TBR. My Jurassic TBR. Yeah, that. Plus The Secret History, which is like, it's another over 500-page book. I think it's like 600 or more. Though, like I said, thankfully, I do have some middle grades on here. Wait, no, this is not included. So take this one away, but we'll just leave it for like to, you know, take the place of The Secret History, even though The Secret History is way bigger, but just for the sake of like sheer number, this is it. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see if I can do this again. Yeah, so this is like the actual number. All but one of these is actually I'm going to be reading. Like I said, that one's taking place of The Secret History. But I have a few, like I have a picture book, I have some middle grades, I have some nonfiction. So hopefully this month will, you know, my reading will I will be able to do a good job. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to please give me a thumbs up. Go ahead and put a shamrock emoji down in the comments if you made it this far, because it's St. Patrick's Day soon, and it's just all things Irish in the month of March, which I love. So yeah, do that for me if you would. Let me know if you read any of these books, if any of them interest you, if you're taking part in any of the readathons I'm taking part in. Yeah, all the good stuff. Just like talk to me in the comments. I love to hang out with you all. It's really late. I need to go so I can get this video filmed or edited. I am filming it. So I can get this video edited and up so y'all can see it in like a timely manner. Yeah, like I said, I don't think there's anything else I need to say besides thank y'all for hanging out with me. I'm really seriously appreciate every single one of you that watches my videos. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. I'd appreciate it. And with all of that said, you guys, I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye.